SKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 6:02. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. My name is Tina Gorman. I'm your Wake Up Wednesday host, and I'm in studio this morning with the chairman of the board, producer Pete Coles. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning.
So, oh my gosh, so much stuff going on in Westfield.
Been busy.
My head is spinning, and I never even made it over to the food drive on Monday, and my head is still spinning.
I know.
There's just so much happening, and
6 hours went by really fast this time.
Did it?
Yeah, I had some student help for a couple of the hours there, so that helped things along. And for the first time, we did a multi-camera shoot because I brought over the stuff from the studio, and
very impressive.
We were showing the volunteers for the first time.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's really nice.
So in the breaks, we cut to shots of the floor and showing everybody working and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, and they had a nice... Pete, can you turn my volume up just a little bit?
Sure.
If you can. We have to do some testing here. Yeah.
You're way over there?
Yeah, there you are. There you are.
Okay. I clicked it up a little bit.
Yeah, we had the Westfield News did a very nice spread in yesterday's paper.
Yeah, Patrick was busy taking pictures.
Put it on the front page and talked about it. And Pete, do you know how many families they helped out this year?
It was well over 200. Last year was 212. I don't think they had a final count, but it was well over 200.
Nice.
And it's kind of usually seems to be it's been in that range the last 2-3 years, between 190 and 212, somewhere in there.
Yep. And I know
That's a lot, though.
It is a lot. And also when we collect food, because we sent over a couple carfuls of boxes of food from the senior center, and we also try to fill the pantries at the schools for year round. And I know we sent over some health and beauty aids, for down the road, and tuna fish and macaroni and mac and cheese, and
I did notice
things like that.
Some of those items as well coming in, and Lorena Donnelly, man, she kills it.
Yeah,
she's
she
that
did the
super couponer, man.
cereal thing.
2 truckloads she brought in of stuff.
Yeah, which is really great. So kudos.
And Steve loves it because he goes, I don't have to open a convenience store now.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
she's awesome at it. We love her because she engages a passion and it helps people.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about the community. So it's really I'm sorry that I missed the food drive. I was dealing with a personal crisis situation and just a lot of stuff going on at the senior center. But so it's a heartwarming event. I find it to be that way, and so I want to do a huge shout out to Ralph and Sue Figge, who coordinated that, and thank you, Ralph and Pete. Publicly for having my back on Monday. I had a car full of food for the drive and could not get down there. And so 2 really wonderful volunteers came over and unloaded the stuff from my car and put it into their SUV, and off they took, because that was a lot of the senior center food. I know Mary Lou had stopped and dropped hers off on the way in because we had loaded cars after the tree lighting on Sunday.
The thing was, Danny Knappich had mentioned this a couple of weeks ago when I saw him. He said, when I was mayor of this city, I didn't know how good I had it. He says, Westfield's kind of in a bubble, but he said, if somebody needs help, I knew who to call or who to talk to, or who to say, hey, I need some help with this or this or this.
Yes.
He said, being an administrator out in the Cape at Yarmouth, he goes, not only do I not know who to call, there is no one to call.
Yeah. That's tough.
And he said, it really is tough because you have to tell people, I can't help you.
Yeah.
And in here, it's like, okay, I knew exactly who to ask, right away.
Absolutely.
To get that small problem taken care of.
Yeah. And sometimes it's, and I have to say, same. I was sharing with Pete off air. I had a little personal situation going on, and I needed the help of the Westfield Police Department over the weekend, and it was the same thing. I walked in and the guys I know a lot of them, and walked in, and it's like, Tina, what's first they were joking around with me. Hey, what are you doing here? Am I in trouble? Or whatever. I'm not a senior yet, and I said, I have a personal situation, and boy, they could not have been more helpful. So Tim Grady, Dave Ritzcott, Jeff Belarjon, thank you so much for all of your assistance. So. Good stuff. So first of all, a happy belated birthday to Bob Plass. I know Bob celebrated his birthday yesterday, so I didn't include you in my famous birthdays, Bob, because it wasn't today, but, happy belated birthday.
Right.
And I know...
he was on fire yesterday. Oh, my God. He sang.
Yes.
Did you hear that? Did you catch that?
Yes. Yeah. He was in rare form. So, and I understand you were enjoying pumpkin bread on air yesterday.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Very
Carrie
nice.
baked that.
Very nice. Very nice.
She left me off 2 loaves, so I was like, you guys enjoy that. I got another one that I'm going to eat
that was
Thanksgiving
nice.
with the family.
Yeah. So lots of good stuff. Well, and I know Bob and Jay were talking about the tree. What are they calling it? The Tree Fest? What are they, Tree Jubilee?
Tree Jubilee.
Tree Jubilee,
trees,
something
whatever,
like that,
yeah.
over at the Renova building.
Right.
So
Marion was really busy this year.
Yeah, so...
She never said anything about that at her little interview.
No, she didn't. She had told me, she and Barbara had shared that with me off air, because I had said to them, okay, so we're talking about Marion Krause and Barbara Wojcik, who designed and created the Veterans Christmas tree that's up at the Senior Center now. So we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But yeah, they had been on the show last week talking about the tree lighting and the Veterans tree and their history of Christmas trees with the Council on Aging. And I had said to Marion, I think I called her like Wednesday or Thursday it was, and we were expecting bad weather on Friday. So, and of course, she was supposed to decorate the tree Friday after bingo finished. So I said to her, listen, if the weather is bad, not to worry. I can be at the Senior Center all day Saturday, and you and Barbara can decorate the tree Saturday, because the tree lighting was on Sunday. And that's when she said to me, well, we can't do that because we're decorating one at the Renova building for the tree festival down there, the Jubilee. I think they're calling it the Jubilee. And so she said, so we're tied up doing that tree all day Saturday. I was like, what? So
you've been bumped.
Yes. Well, no, what was really funny, because mine got done first. Mine was done on Friday. And what was really kind of nice was we ended up being closed on Friday. So I called her. I said, we should have everything shoveled out and the sidewalks cleared by like 1 o'clock. So I said, if you want to come a little early, so that I wasn't
come on in early,
right?
sure.
So that I wasn't going to be there until 9 o'clock at night. And they did. They came early, and it still took them 4 hours to do the tree, which is absolutely amazing and beautiful. So I will say this: so we had the tree lighting ceremony on Sunday, and as most of our listeners know, certainly if you listened to the show last week when I interviewed Marion and Barbara about the Veterans tree. You'll know that they have a history of, doing meaningful, thoughtfully designed trees at the Senior Center. They've done one for the Westfield Police Department 2 years ago. Last year it was the fire department and the first responders. And this year was the Veterans tree. And, the Veterans tree, I feel, and interestingly, the seniors have commented. Yesterday they were also commenting, this tree is different. The fire tree and the police tree, when you walked in the room from far away, it was just wow. It was this stunning wow factor. This tree is really different. It's beautiful from far away, but when you get up close, and I encouraged everyone that was at the tree lighting, we had well over 100 people there, and I said, you have to come up and really see this tree up close. And somebody said to me yesterday, this tree is not a wow tree. It's an emotional tree.
It's somber, yeah.
Yeah, it's very symbolic. They have different colored flags. So they have gold and silver and red flags. So the silver flags, I think, were in honor of World War I and World War II vets. And then they had the branches of the service, or the gold flags, the 5 branches of the service. And then they had a red flag for each of the conflicts after World War II, and they have them labeled. And then next to each flag is an angel ornament that they made. And all of the flags are laser inscribed. Somebody paid to have that done. And that was an anonymous donor who did not want to be recognized. But it's just one of those trees where you really have to get up close and look at it and read it. And all of everything on the tree that has any inscription is to the front and the side. So you don't have to go around to the back of it, which is a little bit more, toward the window side. But they just tried to make it so that people could see it. So I've really encouraged people to please come. And, it's one thing to drive through and we have it lit up at night and so forth, but you really have to come into the senior center and look at it. It's just absolutely beautiful and really, really, as you said, Pete, a little on the somber side, but very meaningful and very emotional. So thank you to the two of them. And also we had Cookie Fairies. We had Pam. I'm not sure if she pronounces her name Burrell or Burrell. She is the owner of Westfield Funeral Home and Cremation on Princeton Street. She was one of the sponsors. She actually purchased the tree. And then the other sponsor was Westfield Gardens for Nursing and Rehabilitation. And they provided some money for all these ornaments, the materials for the ornaments, which can be a little bit on the pricey side. But Pam and her mom and one of her other relatives, I think it was her niece, baked cookies, homemade cookies for you kind of did a little reception afterwards. There must have been 12 different kinds of cookies.
That's
because
cool.
when they brought them in all, coolers and things like that. And so I had Barbara Martone, one of my volunteers, put them out all on, put them on trays, and they were gone. I mean, when we were done, because I know we had napkins and I think people were, wrapping a few cookies to take home, which was absolutely fine. But they were, people said they were just like melt in your mouth, delicious and beautiful to look at. So thank you to all of those people. And Julie Barnes did the tree lighting. Our Director of Veteran Services did the tree lighting. The Do Re Mi Singers did a salute to our veterans. They did a whole patriotic sing-along. And I have to say, Mayor Sullivan, of course, was there. And so were 9 of our city councilors.
That's a good thing.
Which was what a wonderful turnout and just what a tribute to our veterans. So couldn't be more happy about that. And so we've already got one of our trees up, one of 3. So I think that next Thursday, Marion and Barbara will be doing the fire tree, which will be going upstairs in the balcony area. And then the following Monday, which is the first Monday of December, I believe they're on tap to do the police tree, which will be down in the Fireside Lounge. And just in time for our senior safety officer, Mark Carbonneau, when he gets back from his hunting vacation early in December. So we'll get that tree up. So lots of things happening, lots of holiday things happening. And I know Bob Plass was talking about they're not doing Dickens Days, but they're doing, Holiday Fest, I think they're calling it, with all kinds of activities. December Fest. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I saw it there's a really nice section, and I think I have it in my bag here, in the Penny Saver, this week's Penny Saver. There's a whole section in the middle of all kinds of things going on, holiday things and all the wow events and so forth. So pick up your copy of the Penny Saver. It's free, folks. We have plenty of copies at the Senior Center. If you need one, come on into the Fireside Lounge and grab a copy, and you'll have everything that you need. So it is, I can't believe it's already 6:15, Pete. So we're going to take our first break. But before we do, I have to announce that November 21st is National Jukebox Day, because I've got some jukebox type songs. So on the day before gathering around the turkey, gather around the nearest jukebox to celebrate National Jukebox Day. As Americans flock to their hometowns for Thanksgiving, many will head out to neighborhood bars and restaurants to catch up with friends and family and celebrate by playing great songs on their local jukebox. The name jukebox is thought to originate from places called juke houses or juke joints, which were establishments in the early 1900s where people congregated to drink and listen to music. In 1889, the first coin-operated player was invented in San Francisco by Louis Glass and his partner William S. Arnold, both managers of the Pacific Phonograph Company. Formerly known as the nickel in the slot machine, the player included a coin operation feature on an Edison phonograph and played a limited selection of songs without any amplification. Throughout history, the jukebox continued to evolve with the times. When recording artists were first crooning into microphones and cutting records into vinyl, an aspiring inventor in a Chicago music store worked nights to build a box that would play both sides of the record. When the Bluegrass Boys played the Grand Ole Opry to sold-out audiences, guys and gals would dance the night away by playing their song over and over again on the jukebox at a local pub. With the advancement of technology, today's jukebox is now more versatile than ever before, with touchscreen interfaces that respond to the swipe of a finger, or can even be controlled by a mobile app, and a vast virtual library of songs including back catalog jukebox heroes alongside top artists of today. Throughout each era, from big band and jazz, country and blues to rock and roll, acoustic, electric, and everything in between, the jukebox has played it all. So on this National Jukebox Day, for our first break song, we're going to listen to Bill Haley and the Comets with Rock Around the Clock.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on, join me home. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the chimes ring 5, 6, and 7, we'll be right in 7th heaven. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Oh, when it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, I'll be going strong and so will you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 12, we'll cool off, then start rocking around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldsstate.bncollege.com.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8888 8646. Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 6:21. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. It is Wednesday, November 21st, the day before Thanksgiving. My name is Tina Gorman. I'm your Wake Up Wednesday host. I'm joined by Pete Coles, producer and chairman of the board over here. So good morning again, Pete.
Good morning.
And I was reminded during that break, I completely forgot. Pete and I usually do sort of a little wrap up of, what's happened during the week. And actually, we had taped last week's show because Pete was away on a road trip.
Yeah.
For a launching.
Business trip, for launch.
How did that go? Well, did the launch get off?
It did, yeah.
It did.
It did, but not until Saturday.
Oh, it was scheduled for when?
Thursday.
Friday? Oh, Thursday.
So Thursday, the storm that y'all had up here.
Oh, yes.
Down there, we had 40-mile-an-hour winds plus.
Oh, that's right.
And 2 inches of rain. So it was like tropical storm style winds, but it's cold.
Yes.
So we had that. So we had a day to kill. We had all the stuff. We did all the stuff that did the day before on Wednesday.
Okay.
Touring the horizontal integration facility, asking your questions of the staff of Northrop Grumman, the pad tour, things like that.
Right. And you were down in Maryland, right?
Just over the line into Virginia.
Okay.
Wallops Island, Virginia.
Okay.
And then so we did that on Wednesday. Thursday they said no launch because it's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
And then they said we're not sure about Friday. So in the press conference that afternoon they were like, yeah, we're not going until Saturday.
Okay.
We had clear skies on Friday. We had winds at different directions at different levels. And
Yes.
that's not good for a rocket launch. So we're scrapping. So we had 2 days to kind of, I was working from remote down there.
Okay.
Because I can.
Yes.
But, poor Kenny had 2 days to kill.
Yes.
Doing nothing. So,
yeah.
So we kind of mocked up all the gear and did some tests. And then Thursday helped the students up here with the superintendent's show.
Okay.
So we all kinds of things going on still, but
nice.
But Saturday morning we were on the bus at 1:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, 1:30 in the morning we were on the bus, and then launch was 4:01 a.m.
Okay. And did everything go smoothly?
Oh
with
yeah,
the
it went
launch?
perfectly
Everything
smooth
went
once it was there.
Good.
Bitter cold though.
Was it? Yeah.
They said it was 40 degrees, but there was like mist. Everything all of our gear had ice on it.
Yes.
Because it was just there.
And speaking of bitter cold, we should probably warn people that tonight into tomorrow,
wind chill advisory.
Big time. It's supposed to be around 5 to 10 tonight, but with wind chills way below zero. So, just plan ahead. I know a lot of people will be traveling tomorrow for the holidays. Just make sure that you dress warmly, get your car warmed up ahead of time.
Yep.
And I have some great volunteers that are going to be helping. We'll be delivering about 100 meals to some of our homebound and isolated, and some of those who will just be alone for Thanksgiving. So I have a team of volunteers, and they are really going to be doing their work this year because of the extreme cold tomorrow and the wind. So I'm going to say thank you to them right out of the gate. So okay, so here's what we have planned for the rest of the show. We have, of course, famous birthdays that we have to do. We have some senior center announcements, some announcements about things going on around Westfield. Second hour, we have LJ Gibb joining us. She is a student here at Westfield State University in the Physician Assistant Program, which we started this a couple of weeks ago. We have the Physician Assistant students rotating through the radio show with different topics. They were topics of their choice, so they coordinated this with Dana, who was here a few weeks ago. And a couple of weeks ago, we had 2 students, and they kind of talked about what a physician assistant is, what can they do, what can they not do from a legal standpoint, what kind of training do they have, And I have to say, probably the most significant statistic that they threw out that stuck with me was that only about 6% of those students who apply to physician assistant programs are actually accepted into the program.
Highly competitive.
Very competitive. And I think because of that, the quality of these folks is just, second to none. And I will tell you this, LJ Gibb, the person who's coming in, the student who's coming in today, is going to be talking about urgent care versus the emergency department versus primary care physician. When should you go where? Who can do what? And so forth. And she has, I think, or he or she. I'm actually not sure if LJ, because I only have initials, so I'm not sure if it's a male or female. But just had some really great questions that she gave to me to kind of throw out there and just up for discussion. So that will be second hour. This month is November is Gratitude Month, and we're going to talk in a little bit this first hour about the therapeutic benefits of having an attitude of gratitude. And it's really interesting. There's some interesting research that's been done on that and how that affects people from a health standpoint. So we're going to dive into that topic a little bit this morning. And so I think let's start with famous birthdays. We'll kind of run through those. So today, November 21st, is the birthday of Goldie Hawn, actress and producer. She was born November 21st, 1945 in Washington, D.C. She's 73 years old. Hawn began taking ballet and tap dancing lessons at the age of 3. By 18, she had dropped out of Washington, D.C.'s American University to start her own ballet school and appeared frequently as a professional dancer in performances throughout New York City and abroad. In 1968, Goldie Hawn made her feature film debut as a dancer in Disney's The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band. That was the name of the movie, where she met her future companion, American actor Kurt Russell. Hawn got her break on the television variety show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, which ran from 1968 to she was on it from 1968 to 1970. The bubbly and infectious actress won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance opposite Walter Matthau in the film Cactus Flower in 1969. Showing her versatility as an actress, Hawn then gave a well-received dramatic performance in Steven Spielberg's 1974 film, The Sugarland Express. I never saw that. Did you ever see that film, Pete?
I may have seen parts of it, but I knew about it.
Yeah, I recognize the title, but I haven't seen it. In 1980, Goldie Hawn received an Oscar nomination for her film Private Benjamin. So, happy 73rd birthday to actress-producer Goldie Hawn. It is also the birthday of guitarist, singer, pianist, songwriter Dr. John. He was born November 21st, 1940 in New Orleans. He's 78 years old today. Dr. John was born Malcolm John Rebenak Jr. Rebenak graced the boxes of Ivory soap products as a child, thanks to his mother's connections as a model. His father had a music store, and by his teens, the young Rebenak was a skilled pianist and guitarist, playing with bands in his home city. Dr. John made his album debut in 1968. He had his hit single a few years later with Right Place, Wrong Time, which we're going to play at one of the breaks, so you'll recognize that song. And over the decades, with many albums, has continued to share and shape the tradition of New Orleans rhythm and blues. So happy 78th birthday to Dr. John. It is also the birthday of that girl, Marlo Thomas, actress, born in 1937 on this day in Deerfield, Michigan. She's 81 years old, which I really can't believe that Marlo Thomas is 81. Margaret Thomas, first nicknamed Margot and then Marlo, was one of 3 children of entertainer Danny Thomas and his wife Rosie. Thomas was raised in Beverly Hills, California. She graduated from the University of Southern California in 1959 and began her acting career a few years later. A perky brunette, Thomas began appearing on such TV shows as 77 Sunset Strip, Bonanza, and The Donna Reed Show in the 1960s. Her career truly broke through in 1965 when she appeared in a London production of Barefoot in the Park and landed the lead on a new series called That Girl, which ran from 1966 to 1971. On the hit sitcom, Thomas played an aspiring actress and model named Anne Marie, an independent, career-oriented woman learning to make it on her own in New York City with a little help from her boyfriend, Donald Hollinger, and her father, Lou Marie. The show, which was later revealed to have had the trailblazing Thomas as executive producer, made the actress a household name and earned her the Best TV Star Female Golden Globe in 1967. From the 90s into the new millennium, Thomas appeared as a guest star on shows like Roseanne, Frasier, Law & Order SVU, and Ugly Betty. She received an Emmy nomination for her role as the mother of Rachel Green in the hit sitcom Friends. Thomas married talk show host Phil Donahue in 1980. She is active in charity work for her late father's favorite cause, the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, which he founded. So happy birthday to the very talented and active Marlo Thomas. And finally, it is the birthday today of football player, talk show host Michael Strahan. He was born November 21st, 1971 in Houston, Texas. He's 47 years old today. After playing for Texas Southern University, Strahan was selected by the New York Giants in the 1993 NFL Draft. Over the course of his long career, Michael Strahan became one of the league's all-time quarterback sack leaders. Following his retirement in 2008, Strahan eased into a new career in television doing analysis for Fox Sports. He's also done several commercials for the Subway sandwich chain. Mm-hmm. In September of 2012, Strahan became the new co-host of the morning television program Live with Kelly and Michael, and later moved to Good Morning America. So happy 47th birthday.
Not everybody can make that transition, to television.
No. There are certain people who should not be doing sports analysis, even though they might have been decent football players,
right?
And other athletes. So yeah, I do have an opinion on that. Some of them are really great.
Tony Romo's really good. Jason Witten's not. Same team, two teammates.
I would disagree on Romo.
I love Tony Romo. He brings some life to a boring. Usually,
I don't like him as a commentator.
Really?
But yeah, really.
He's paired up with one of the worst play-by-play guys, one of the most over-the-top play-by-play guys in the business. Joe Buck, horrible.
See, but you know what? I disagree. That's all. So I do understand that that's a matter of personal taste.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I'll have conversations with my brother-in-law, who's a huge sports fanatic, and he doesn't like this guy or doesn't like that guy as a commentator, and I'm thinking those are the guys I like. The guys he doesn't like are the guys that I like, and the guys that he likes are the guys that I don't like. And part of that's personal. I used to love John Madden, and a lot of people couldn't stand him.
Right.
Because he would tell you like what the players were thinking. He's down there thinking this, that, and the other thing. Well, he was a coach. He kind of does know what they're thinking.
But see, that's what people haven't. People. That's what Tony Romo does, and people don't really.
I think Tony Romo to me
the wrong way.
He just states the obvious. In my opinion, I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't need a sports analysis to tell me, that. But anyway, having said all of that,
different than Dan Dearnorf.
Congratulations to Michael Strahan, because I think you're right. He did make that transition, and that's not easy for everyone to do. All right, it is 6:34. We're going to take our next break, and we're going to do another jukebox song. This one is Run Around Sue by Dion.
Here's my story, it's sad but true. It's about a girl that I once knew. She took my love, then ran around with every single guy in town. Whoa. away from a runaround sewer. Whoa. Out with other guys, here's the moral and the story from the guy who knows. I fell in love and my love still grows. Ask any fool that she ever knew to say, I keep away from a runaround Sue. I play that out. Yeah, keep away from this girl. I know what she'll do. Keep away from Sue. She likes to travel around. Yeah, she'll love you and she'll put you down. Now people, let me put you wise. She goes out with other guys. Here's a moral and a story from that guy who knows. I fell in love and my love still grows. Ask any fool that she ever knew to say, I'll keep away from a runaround Sue. Yeah, stay away from that girl. Don't you know what you do now? Whoa.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. That's what you'll find on Ken's Den, Tuesdays from 8 till 10.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 6:37. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. I'm loving this National Jukebox Day. This is my kind of music, so enjoy. All right, so a few announcements of some things going on around town. First of all, I just want to remind you that next Wednesday, November 28th, Armbrook Village hosts their Alzheimer's support group on the last Wednesday of every month. That's at 6 p.m. They do serve, have light refreshments, and so they do ask you to RSVP if at all possible. The number is 568-0000. So if you are a family member or a caregiver and you have a loved one with Alzheimer's disease or some other type of related dementia, this is just a phenomenal support group. And I know there are actually city employees who are in this situation, have been going to the group and have really just said how helpful it's been for them. So this is hosted by the Compass Memory Support Neighborhood at Armbrook Village. And Armbrook Village, of course, is located on the north side, right around the corner from 7B's and on North Road. So again, it's 6 o'clock next Wednesday, November 28th. And you can give them a call at 568-0000 to either get more information or to make your reservation and let them know you're going to be joining them. This Sunday, you know what? I just realized this is Sunday. I was thinking it was Saturday. This Sunday, November 25th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. right at Westfield Technical Academy. They'll have their annual Arts and Crafts Fair. Westfield Technical Academy culinary students will be providing lunch for a nominal fee. Refreshments will also be available for purchase. Westfield Technical Academy is located at 33 Smith Avenue in Westfield. Parking is free. There's parking both at the top and then you'd have to kind of walk down a little bit and then over by the gym. And, of course, there are lots of side streets there. So this is their annual Arts and Crafts Fair. If you have never been to the Arts and Crafts Fair at Westfield Technical Academy, it is just worth it just to go and walk around and see the amazing work that's out there. This is a craft fair that goes on for miles of hallway.
I know they were laying out the
they
were laying, so the kids were asking, they put the markings out for all the booze.
Yes.
And the kids are going, what's that? What's there, some kind of race in here or something? I'm like, no, that's for the booze.
Yeah, for the craft fair.
For what? I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys are oblivious. It's
Yes,
a craft fair on Sunday.
Exactly. Well, of course, they're not in school when it happens, but it's just an amazing event. So let's get out there and support, Technical Academy and also all these local artisans and crafters, because there are some beautiful things. So if you're looking for, just maybe a nice homemade decoration or some beautiful, there will be wonderful gifts too, unusual, unique gifts. So
You can find just about anything there.
Yeah, you certainly will. It's a great fair. So again, the time on that one, it's Sunday, November 25th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So go out, get out there and support our local craftsmen. Also, I wanted to make this announcement for the DPW. Leaf pickup program is running from November 10th through the 30th of November, which is this coming Friday. All leaf collections will be done with the established refuse and recycling collection routes. All leaves collected should be in brown paper bags with no objectionable or foreign materials and placed curbside. So this is just leaves. Don't throw any trash in there. Don't throw your recycles in there. It's just leaves. And all residents are required to maintain their bags in good standing until they can be collected. Please be aware that holidays and inclement weather may cause delays in the leaf collections, and additionally, severe weather conditions, I don't think they classify what we've had yet as severe, may cause an early suspension of the leaf collection program. So please visit the city website for any and all updates, and that would be www.cityofwestfield.org. So get those leaves out there in bags.
Yep.
We have another craft fair coming up, which I'm just going to mention because it's not until mid-December. So the one at the Arbors will be December 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's at 40 Court Street. And all proceeds benefit the Westfield Senior Center. So we are, of course, encouraging people to support that one, and we'll talk more about that. Maybe I'll get Mary Argenio over here to do a show in December. I usually like to get Mary to talk about some of the vendors that will be at her craft fair. Yeah. So I'll look into that. And then this is kind of early on, gang, but you know what? Mark your calendars. And I know that Harry Rock, when he does his show, Rock on Westfield, will be talking a lot more about the upcoming First Night, which is a Westfield 350th celebration. So we're going to kick off the 350th year.
Do you know who his guest is?
First Night.
Harry?
No, who's his guest?
Bob Plass.
Oh, yes, I did. Oh, yeah, he talked about that on the show. To talk about First Night, is that it, or just...
Talk about the events coming up with WOW and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Decemberfest.
Okay, so First Night is a family-friendly and fun First Night celebration, which, of course, will be Monday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, 4 to 7:30 p.m. So this is family-friendly. It's not midnight. So bring the kids, because it'll all be over at 7:30. There's no admission. The events are free. And this is what's going on. So I'm just going to give you a little preview. And again, we'll talk more about this during the month of December, but there will be a parade. There will be, at Amelia Park Ice Arena, they'll have ice skating, musicians. They'll have a 350th photo booth, which should be a lot of fun. The Children's Museum will have face painting, balloon animals, and a dance party. Amelia's Garden outdoors they'll be roasting s'mores. They'll do ice sculptures, and they'll have hot chocolate. And inside the Boys and Girls Club, they will have bounce houses, a magic show, and a teen rock band. And then, if that's not all enough, at 7 o'clock, fireworks. So how cool is that?
By the way,
going
the dance
to
party
be?
is me.
Oh, the dance party's Pete.
I'm going to be at the Amelia Park.
So you'll be at the Amelia Park
We're
one.
going to start at like 10 o'clock in the morning because I got to do my top 100.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's going to be a ball. Well, we're all about that. So we'll be talking a lot more about First Night, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there so that people could put it on your calendar. Because, sometimes that New Year's Eve thing, people say, well, I can't stay up till midnight. It's kind of past my bedtime.
Do you know why we're doing this fireworks so early?
Why?
Because it'll coincide with midnight in Westfield, England.
Oh, I did not know that.
Which is where we all came from.
Well, I didn't know that. So,
the founders.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. Very good. Okay. A couple of other announcements, which I would like to do about this, the Senior Center announcement. So first of all, the December issue of the Voice of Experience newsletter will be out this Saturday. It's always out the last Saturday of the month, and the last Saturday of the month this month falls on the 24th of November. So I had to book it to get that newsletter done. So lots of things going on at the Senior Center during the month of December. So I would definitely suggest that you pick up your copy. It comes out as an insert to the Westfield News on the last Saturday of every month. So it will be in the Westfield News this Saturday. It will hit the streets on Monday. It will be at the Senior Center, and we'll have it at local pharmacies and the Bay State Noble Hospital and the reception area there and the Athenaeum and kind of all over the city on Monday. But anyway, this Saturday, Voice of Experience newsletter. So a few things coming up next week that I just wanted to announce. So first of all, we're going to have fitness signups for the January and February fitness classes, and they will be held on Tuesday, November 27th at 10 a.m. For those of you who have not been through this process, we open the doors at 8:30. You can come in, and it's like the bakery. You get a number. So whatever your number is, that's your number in line starting at 10 o'clock when we open up registration. So some people come and they get their number and then they go have a cup of coffee, sometimes inside the Senior Center. Some of them go exercise outside. They take a walk. They do their grocery shopping as long as they're back at 10 o'clock. And then we start the process. You may sign up for yourself and one additional person. That's it. And the signups will be for the January, February chair yoga classes, Tai Chi, progressive and beginner, as well as the Keep It Moving class. So lots going on. Those are all our YMCA instructor-led classes. So that's happening Tuesday the 27th. Next Thursday is a big day at the Senior Center. That would be the 29th of February. We have an open invitation. I'm actually going to be sending
November 29th.
November. What did I say?
February.
Oh, I said I'm back in the January, February fitness classes.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. Thursday, November 29th, 9 to 11 a.m. at the Westfield Senior Center. We are going to be saying goodbye to a 26-year Senior Center veteran, Fran Aguda. Fran has been our companion program coordinator at the Council on Aging for 26 years. She will be retiring next Friday, the 30th of November. So we're having an open house for her on Thursday, and then the staff is having a little private going away breakfast for her the following day. That will be her last day. But we're going to do this open house honoring companion program coordinator Fran Aguda. She will be retiring at the end of the month, so please join us in thanking Fran and wishing her the best in her retirement years. So it will be at the Senior Center in the Great Room from 9 to 11 a.m. We will have coffee and tea and pastries and all kinds of stuff that our kitchen crew is going to put together for us. It's an open house. You don't have to RSVP. You just come and wish her well. So Mary Lou and Carol Shannon and I were brainstorming, and Carol had a great idea about some things that we'd like to do as to incorporate in that open house. The mayor will be there at 9:30 along with some other dignitaries to kind of do. We'll do a few short speeches about Fran, but please, you are welcome and invited. We have sent invitations out to Fran's clients, all of her volunteers, the many organizations, staff members of local organizations, Highland Valley Elder Services, Carson Center, just goes on and on, people who have worked with her over the years. It was hard to do the guest list. I mean, she's been there for 26 years and she's done so much out in the community on behalf of her clients,
right?
Has made so many connections. And then we'll be doing just a blanket one coming out of the mayor's office. That'll be coming out probably later on today as an invitation. So That's next Thursday. So I think on that note, it is 6:49. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM. Radio for the Westfield masses. We're going to listen to Dr. John in honor of his birthday singing Right Place, Wrong Time. When we come back, we're going to talk about gratitude.
But I must use the wrong call. sprung up in my mind. Just got to give myself a good talking to this time. Just need a little brain salad surgery. I got to cue my insecurity. I've been in the wrong place, but it must have been the right time. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong song. I've been in the right vein, but it seems like a wrong on. I've been in the right world, but it seems like the wrong. Sneaking, peeping, hiding out down the street. See my life shaking with every who I meet. Refried confusion as I'm making itself clear. Wonder which way do I go to get on out of here? Cause I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. And I done said the right thing, but I must have used the wrong line. I took the right road, but I must have took a wrong train. Took the right move, but I made it at the wrong time. I went in the right trail, but I made it in the wrong call. Head's in a good place.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 6:53. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM, radio for the Westfield masses. It is Wednesday, November 21st. My name is Tina Gorman. I'm your Wake Up Wednesday host, and I'm in studio this morning with the chairman of the board, producer Pete Coles. Good morning again, Pete.
Good morning.
So we've been kind of talking about, upcoming holidays and things going on around the city and how busy life is suddenly getting.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to focus a little bit. November is Gratitude Month, and I remembered when I saw that several years ago, we used to do a program called Live and Learn at the Senior Center. It was kind of a health and wellness educational monthly discussion group that we had. And I remembered that I had done something on gratitude and how gratitude fits in with your overall health and wellness. So I dug up my notes. I went back and I looked at what I had. And you know what? I'm really happy that I revisited that because there are some very interesting findings about gratitude. So I'm going to share some of this with our listeners, and I think it all makes sense when you listen to it from a health standpoint. So first of all, gratitude makes us happier. A 5-minute-a-day gratitude journal can increase your long-term well-being by more than 10%. That's 2.5 times the impact of winning more than $1 million in the lottery. So how does that happen? How does gratitude make us happier? Well, there are a whole lot of ways that happens. So first of all, gratitude makes people like us. Gratitude makes us nicer, more trusting, more social, and more appreciative. As a result, it helps us to make more friends, deepen our existing relationships, and improve our marriage. I mean, when you think about it, you have to kind of go back and think about it, but all that makes sense. So if you're appreciative, thankful for other people, as the day before Thanksgiving, when we talk about our thankfulness, that makes you a nicer person and somebody that other people want to be around. So it does help you to make more friends because people like that, and to deepen your existing relationships, because when you are grateful for the other people in your life and you express that to them, it makes them feel closer to you. So this is one of those sort of common sense things. Gratitude also makes us more optimistic. Gratitude is strongly correlated with optimism. Optimism, in turn, makes us happier, improves our health, and has been shown to increase lifespan by as much as a few years. Again, it's the glass is half full versus the glass is half empty.
Sure.
And, people like to be around the glass is half full kind of people. There are people that, and you could probably think of people in your own mind where they just draw others to them, kind of like a magnet, because no matter how bad it is, they're always finding the silver lining. And, just kind of, again, just sort of being grateful for the positive things in their life, and trying to sort of play down, there's junk going on because we all go through stuff. But, the person that can kind of play that down and just look at, I look at it now and I just think, look at these people out in California who have lost everything. You have an entire community that's just been wiped out, have totally lost everything. So, anything that I'm going through seems kind of insignificant to, compared to these people that don't even, when your home is destroyed by fire, there's nothing. It's not like you can really salvage much of anything,
Right.
So gratitude makes us more optimistic. It also reduces materialism. Materialism is strongly correlated with reduced well-being and increased rates of mental disorder. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. The problem with materialism is that it makes people feel less competent, reduces feelings of gratitude, reduces their ability to appreciate and enjoy the good in life, generates negative emotions, and makes people more self-centered. Gratitude, on the other hand, causes people to focus less on things that don't matter, like making money, and more on things that do, like family and friends. So again, we all need things. We're not talking about things that we need in our life. And of course, we need money to survive. But I think it's the over-the-top materialism that they're talking about. So gratitude reduces materialism. It also makes us less self-centered. And this is because the very nature of gratitude is you're focusing on other people. You're grateful for other people, on their acts of benevolence, and not on ourselves. And sometimes we can get caught up in, me, and what do I need and what do I want? But gratitude really makes us focus on other people. And here's one that I would like to share with Akanyele, because we've had this conversation on the program before. We've talked about sleep.
Right.
Gratitude improves your sleep. So here's how. Gratitude increases sleep quality, reduces the time required to fall asleep, and increases sleep duration. Said differently, gratitude can help with insomnia. The key is what's on our minds as we're trying to fall asleep. If it's anxiety, the level of stress in our body will increase, reducing sleep quality, keeping us awake, and cutting our sleep short. Gary refers to that as brain chatter.
Yeah, well, the more stress you have on yourself in general, the worse it's going to be. Harder it is in your body, asleep. Period. Yeah.
Yep. So this is really, I actually tried doing this, and I think it really works. If it's thinking about a few things that we have to be grateful for today, it will induce the relaxation response, knock us out, and keep us that way. Yes, gratitude is a safe and free sleep aid. So when you go to bed at night, instead of thinking in your head, which is hard to do, you really have to train yourself to do this, because I'm thinking about, what do I have to do tomorrow? What did I not finish today? Or what did I mess up today that, how could I do that? And instead just start to think about, which I was doing last night when I went to sleep, just sort of thinking about like the things that you're grateful for, and just, the house that I live in, the job that I have. I am blessed. I love my job. I mean, I work hard, and sometimes it's stressful, but it's super rewarding, and I have a passion for it, as you do. I mean,
Sure.
Pete, you're into the media and the technology, and that's really something to be grateful for, because there are people who get up every day and hate what they do, and I just can't even imagine that. So I think just thinking about things that you're grateful for before you go to sleep will actually help you to fall asleep quicker, stay asleep longer, and just feel more refreshed when you wake up. Gratitude keeps you away from the doctor. Gratitude can't cure cancer for sure, but it can strengthen your physiological functioning. Positive emotion improves health. Gratitude is a positive emotion. The details are complicated, but the overall picture is not. If you want to improve your health, improve your mind. And finally, gratitude increases your energy levels. Gratitude and vitality are strongly correlated. The grateful are much more likely to report physical and mental vigor. So, lots of reasons to incorporate an attitude of gratitude in your life. And what better time to be talking about that than the day before Thanksgiving? We have lots to be thankful for. It is 7:01. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM, radio for the Westfield masses. We're going to take our top of the hour break.
WSKB's programming is generously underwritten by City Fiber, Westfield Gas and Electric, where they offer gigabit internet speed. Whip City Fiber, turning Westfield's neighborhoods into fiberhoods. On the web at whipcityfiber.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 7:04. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. It is Wednesday, November 21st, the day before Thanksgiving. My name is Tina Gorman. I'm your Wake Up Wednesday host, and I'm in studio this morning with the chairman of the board, producer Pete Coles. Good morning again, Pete.
Good morning. Do you remember when Mayor Knappich used to love the day before Thanksgiving? He used to come in and do the show. This was kind of a big day for him.
Just his time of the year.
I think he'd always play Alice's Restaurant at the end of the show.
Yes, he did.
He better text me. So
he did.
I'll play at the end of Joe's show.
Okay. All right. Joe Didi is on after I am, right?
Yeah, because there's nothing at 9 o'clock as far as I know.
Okay.
Chamber Chatter was last week.
Yep.
Yeah, because the Arbors had that slot for a while, and then the driving force behind that show
got transferred to a different Arbor. Yeah, different Arbor's facility down in, that was our friend Bianca.
Yeah.
Syriac. And she did the show once. She was all excited about doing a monthly WSKB show because we had her on here once.
Yep.
She was nervous when she started, and by the end, she wanted her own show.
Right.
45 minutes later, she wanted her own show. So Pete gave her own show monthly. She did one. She was all excited about it. And then they transferred her down to Connecticut, which is
close to home.
Yeah, she lives in Connecticut. And also, I don't know if you knew this, Pete, she was pregnant.
I know she was pregnant, yep.
So she had found that out not long before she agreed to, or I think shortly after she did the show.
She sent me a message on Facebook saying that just made complete sense that she had to do that. So I'm like, no problem.
Yes,
you know?
Agreed. But anyway, so but here we are. So just to warn people again, it is it's going to be in the 30s today, but it's going to be bitter cold tonight into tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of wind tonight, down between 5 and 0 to 5, and then wind chills well below 0 tomorrow. So if you
I have to start my turkey in the smoker around 6 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be cold.
I know, because yours is outdoors, right? Yours is an outdoor smoker.
Yeah, well, I got to vent it. So
yes. Yeah.
I got to figure out a way to vent it from the inside out.
I know.
Like a dryer
can you
vent
put
or
it
something.
do you have it? I mean, can you put it like right outside the door so you don't have to go walking across the lawn?
No, it's right outside the door. Yeah.
All right.
Because it's not a fire hazard. So
now, Pete, have you smoked a turkey before?
No.
Okay. So is it?
I've read a lot about it.
This is a regular whole turkey.
Yeah.
Okay.
13.
Right. How long does it take to smoke it?
They said 30 minutes per pound.
And yours is a 13-pound bird. Is that what you're saying?
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay,
I got to double check
that. Okay.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. Well, I bet it's going to be delicious when you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's going to make your whole neighborhood smell really wonderful.
Yeah, because I'm going to mix apple and hickory chips.
That sounds really good. That sounds wonderful. All right, so I do have an announcement to make. This is kind of a hot off the press announcement. I have been announcing that, our annual holiday gala for the seniors is Thursday, December 6th from 11 to 3 at Toccoa Country Club. We have traditionally, we have Richie Mitnick on the keyboard at 11 o'clock, and we have dancing from 11 to 12, or just listening to music, whatever people want to do as they're gathering in. But if you like dancing, make sure you get there at 11 so you have a whole hour worth of dancing.
Yep.
Then we have our dinner at 12, and this year our menu is Yankee pot roast, so we're doing some real comfort food.
Sure.
And then all the additional fixings, and I know chocolate mousse for dessert, and then we have Richie Mitnick and the Sounds of Music Singers will do about a 45-minute concert this year. Brad Shepard will be performing.
Nice.
Ethel Lee, who is a retired police officer from West Springfield, who has a beautiful voice, and a few others. Peter Noni will be there. He's sort of the heartthrob, the crooner of the crew. So that will all be happening, and then of course we have our famous raffle, and we have the Friends group has raffle, a big lottery raffle, and all kinds of good stuff. Well, anyway, I am here to announce that this will be our last holiday gala. This is the grand finale of our holiday galas. We had a board meeting this week, and we decided, for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is that once we moved into the new senior center, we have so many groups at the senior center, and we are doing so much partying at the senior center, particularly starting, and special events, starting from our tree lighting all the way through the end of the month. It's really just gotten to be too much for all of us. And I I can tell you personally, the staff, Mary Lou and I were so exhausted by the time Christmas Day came last year, because it just was one thing after another. And this year now, of course, we also have Fran's retirement open house thrown in there, which we don't usually have that. But for a variety of reasons, and also because of cost, we've always tried to keep the cost down. It's $20 a ticket. It's been $20 a ticket for probably 5 or 6 years. But in order to have that, we need sponsors. And I want to thank Jimmy Adams, who has been a sponsor every single year for Sean Adams' funeral, and also the G&E. Is Dan Howard still at the G&E, or has he left?
I think he's retired.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I mean, I know he is retiring, but I didn't know if it was November, December, or if he's already gone.
It was in November, I believe.
Okay, yeah. And Dan has been wonderful too. G&A, Armbrook Village, another sponsor. But, it's getting tougher, I think, for sponsors and also for the local businesses who donate a lot of our raffle prizes. So we've just decided we're going to try to make this one really special. This is our grand finale.
Put on a hiatus.
Yeah, exactly. And there are other things. And I know, Bob Placid talked about Dickens Days and kind of, changing that up a little bit. And, it's time to kind of transition to
he did the Christmas Carol for years, and they retired that last year. So
yeah, you kind of know. And when Kathy Tobin was on the show talking about the Noble Ball, we were from Bay State Health Foundation. One of the things that Kathy talked about as a fundraiser is most things don't sustain forever. I mean, the Noble Ball is one of the exceptions that, right. It has gone on for over 40
because
years.
Because they rotate the top of the thing. Usually it's the volunteer staff gets burned out.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yep.
I saw it in the softball World Series.
Well, you see it there. You see, golf tournaments, road races. I mean, all of those things. It's, your volunteers. There's a time and a place, and after a while, it's like, okay, you know what? I've done this 10 years in a row. I'm done.
Right.
And we've actually done the Holiday Gala. I think this is the 9th or 10th year for that. And so anyway, if you would like to attend, we do have tickets available. Please get them. You have about a week. That's it, because I have to give Toccoa a final number next week. So come down to the Senior Center. Your tickets are $20 a piece. You can get up to 4 tickets if you'd like to have others join you. As I said, this is sort of the grand finale Holiday Gala. It's been a great run. Richie Mitnick and company has been wonderful. If you like to dance, you got a great dance floor there, and you know what? We finish by 3, so those who don't like to drive at night or shouldn't drive at night or can't drive at night, you don't have to worry about that. We will have you home before dark, so come and get your tickets. All right, I think, is my guest waiting out there in the wings?
He just went to the bathroom, but he'll be back.
Okay, all right, very good. Well, that's fine. So we have, we have time for a couple of announcements then before we take our 7:15 break. I was mentioning before, in this week's Penny Saver, if you turn to page 17, it has December Fest. That's what they're calling it, Pete. So we've got December Fest with all kinds of things going on locally. Westfield Shops is doing their Small Saturday business on this Saturday, November 25th. So that's Shop Small. We're supporting our small businesses on and off the Elm Street corridor. This is, I'm going to read you the little write-up here. The Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce is once again a neighborhood champion, courtesy of American Express. Downtown shops and businesses celebrate Small Business Saturday. That's the official name, Small Business Saturday. Sales abound throughout the city center and beyond, where a world of great food, shopping, and services awaits. Shop Small Saturday giveaways, courtesy of American Express, facilitated through the Chamber of Commerce, are at selective shops. So, this weekend you've got Small Business Saturday to get some of your shopping started.
Yep.
On Sunday, you've got the craft fair over at the Westfield Technical Academy. So, you can do a whole lot of Christmas shopping in 2 days.
Oh, I know.
Keeping it local, right here. You don't even have to go. And then this is Westfield's Tree Jubilee, which starts Saturday, November 24th. It'll go through Sunday, December 9th. This is at Westfield Creative Arts. That's the old Renova building at 105 Elm Street. The hours are Thursdays and Fridays from 12 noon to 7 p.m., Saturday and Sunday 10 to 3. But you got to hear this. Whip City celebrates the season with its first Tree Jubilee. And by the way, I understand Marion and Barbara's tree is in the window.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I heard that.
I did hear that yesterday.
Yes. A special fundraiser to support all of the family fun events of Westfield on weekends throughout the year. Thanks to the Westfield News Group and many generous individuals, groups, and businesses, Westfield Creative Arts is transformed into a wonderland of decorated Christmas trees. Trees will be taken home by the lucky winners of the Tree Jubilee raffle that will be drawn at the end of the Jubilee on December 9th. While at the Jubilee, do some shopping at the December Fest Crafts Shop. So there you have it, folks. So they will be open. Well, obviously not tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. But starting on Saturday, November 24th, they'll be open Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 3 this weekend. And then after that, 10 to 3 Saturdays and Sundays, and Thursdays and Fridays, 12 to 7 p.m. So I got to get over there to see this tree. I understand there are some tabletop trees there.
Yeah.
Which, those are really nice.
I may bet on one of those.
Yes, and those are really nice. Like, I think of those like for my seniors, who live in apartments. They don't have a lot of space.
Right, or people who live alone.
Yeah, or people who live alone.
Who don't want to set up
just,
a huge tree.
Right, you don't want to set up a big tree, but you want to have something festive on your table. Put it on a coffee table or an end table, or over the fireplace or whatever. So yeah, I'm anxious to go and see what they've done. So that all great things in one place. But now whoever wins Marion's tree, I think she's got the 9-footer. I think it's a 9-foot tree. Yeah. So, all right. It is 7:15. Get big time. It's 7:15. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. This song is, again, in honor of National Jukebox Day, one of my favorites by the Marcells, Blue Moon.
Dang dang dang, ding a dong ding, blue moon, 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 blue moon. Dip dip dip, moon, 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 blue moon. Dip dip dip, moon, 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 blue moon. Dip dip dip, bomb 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 bomb, dang dang dang, ding a dong ding, blue moon.
You saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Dang dang dang, ding a dong ding,
blue moon. You knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really do care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms would ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I look, the moon is there to go. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Dang dang dang, ding a dong ding, blue. Bomb 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 bomb, dang dang dang, ding a dong ding, blue. Bomb 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 bomb, dang dang dang, ding a dong ding, blue moon.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes and Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com. Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Thursday morning from 6 till 8, it's Patrick Berry, owner of the Westfield News Group.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 7:19. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. It is Wednesday, November 21st, the day before Thanksgiving. My name is Tina Gorman. I'm your Wake Up Wednesday host. In the second hour, we have LJ Gibb with us. LJ is a student here at Westfield State University in the Physician Assistant Program. So welcome, LJ.
It's good to be here, Tina. Thanks.
Thank you. And just for our listeners who might not be aware, we started a couple of weeks ago with a rotation of, we've added this to the physician assistant rotation of coming into the radio show and talking about a specific topic. I had the students kind of choose whatever they're the most comfortable with talking about because, healthcare is very broad and we have lots of different ways we can go and lots of different directions. So LJ is going to be talking about sort of the differences between emergency departments, urgent care, primary care physicians. When do we go where? How do we kind of assess that? What are the goals? But before we get into all of that, let's talk a little bit about LJ. And I have to say, LJ, so the first thing I need to know, because I actually didn't even know if you were male or female, because I've got initials here. Right. So what does LJ stand for?
Okay, LJ stands for Lesmore Jr. All right, so my dad's name is Lesmore Alexander Gibb, and I'm Lesmore Alexander Gibb Jr., and I have a son who's Lesmore Alexander Gibb III. Oh my! He goes by Alex. I go by LJ. My dad goes by Les.
I gotta say, Lesmore is a really cool name. Lesmore Alexander, that is a cool name.
It's a little different. My dad's from really Jamaica.
So okay, is that? And I was wondering, is it a common name in Jamaica?
Or? I think it's more common, certainly more common there than here, for sure. Like I don't know anyone, any American that has that name, but I've met maybe one other person who has my name, and he happened to be from Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica as well.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say that is a really cool name. So you may find that more in America as more people get to know you and say, "Hey, that's a cool name," and I love it with the Alexander. All right, so now that we have that out of the way, so we know that LJ is a male, Lesmore Alexander. Yes. So tell us your dad's from Jamaica. Yep. What about you? Where are you from?
Okay, I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay,
right? And both my parents are actually from Jamaica.
Okay.
And,
now, did they come and settle in the Brooklyn area, or how did you end up in the Brooklyn?
When they came to the States, they came to New York City, and my parents didn't know each other in Jamaica. They actually met. Oh, okay,
they met in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, very good. And now, did you where did you go to school? Did you go to school in Brooklyn? Did you grow up in Brooklyn?
No, I actually, I went to school through junior high.
Okay.
In Brooklyn.
All right.
And then I got accepted to a program for minority students who did kind of well in junior high. So I got to go to a program for, they say, academically gifted, students.
Yeah, good for you.
It was called A Better Chance. And the program I was in State College, Pennsylvania. So I went away to school.
Which is where Penn State is.
That's where Penn State is,
yes.
Right. And so I'm a Nittany Lion fan. And
absolutely. Go Blue.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right. Good to hear. So did that for high school. Stayed in Pennsylvania for college as well. So my undergrad was actually at Grove City College, like an hour north of Pittsburgh.
Okay, now that is one that I'm not familiar with. I'm from northern New Jersey, so I'm familiar with a lot of the Pennsylvania colleges, but I've not heard of Grove City.
Yeah,
but it's on the other side of the state. Okay,
small liberal arts.
And what did you major in undergraduate school?
All right, so Grove City is a small Christian liberal arts school, and I majored in Christian thought and Christian ministries, like a theology degree.
Okay,
theology and philosophy. It wasn't until much later that I decided to go back to school and get my science credits and pursue medicine. So I went to Elms College under their post-baccalaureate pre-med program.
Okay.
And did that from...
Now, how did you end up from Pennsylvania?
3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, we went from Brooklyn to Pennsylvania. How did you end up in Western Massachusetts? What brought you here?
All right, so that's why. So I went back home after I graduated Grove City.
Okay.
And about a year and a half after that, I joined the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay. And, wow, we left out a whole section.
Yeah, so like a lot of life happened, right? So
I'm not sure we're going to get to any of these questions because so far this is so fascinating.
So I guess I should kind of preface everything by saying, like, I'm not a typical PA student. I'm what you would consider a non-traditional. I'm 41 years old.
Sounds like James Keaty.
Well, it's
Remember Jim Keaty?
I do, but it's interesting. I taught at Springfield College for a number of years, and I had a number of when we refer to them as non-traditional students. But I kind of feel like in the PA program, I think we're going to see more and more non-traditional students. My husband's actually a chiropractor, and he said if he ever went back to school, he would go back to become a PA.
Oh, great.
I could see him doing that in his 60s. He's probably going to come home after listening to this interview and say, okay, Tina, I definitely decide I'm doing it. Yeah. So yes, obviously you would be considered, you're a little older, have, had other positions and so forth. So
Sure,
yes, that would be considered non-traditional, but go for it. Okay.
Right.
So we did the Marines.
So I did the Marines. I was a logistics officer there. Got out of the Marines in 2007, and 2 years later I joined the Massachusetts Army National Guard. So I came up here from North Carolina. I was stationed in North Carolina with the Marines, came up here for recruiting duty, got out of the Marine Corps, and stayed here.
Okay.
Because just like everybody else, you fell in love with the area.
Oh, yeah. The weather's perfect. No.
Something about the Pioneer Valley.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just squatted here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I have a big family. I'm married, have 7 children.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We are not really going to get to any of these questions.
We'll have to have him back.
We might do one.
Children.
We'll have to have him back.
We could do 10 minutes on each 7 children. Wow.
Right. So when I say non-traditional, like really non-traditional, like no
this
one
is
has
like totally non-traditional.
Right. So
wow.
Yeah, so the idea of going back to New York was out of the question because the cost of living for a family is big. So we just we stayed put. Say, hey, we're not going to go back to New York.
Now, how did you meet your wife, and where did you meet what's your wife's name?
Her name is Catherine.
Okay, and where did
Catherine.
you? Hi, Catherine. Bless you, Catherine. 7 children later. Good Lord. So, how did you and Catherine meet? Let's get to the juicy stuff, LJ. Okay.
We met at church in New York. We actually met in New York. I went back home after college, and I met Catherine during college, but we didn't go to the same college.
Okay.
I was doing an internship at a church in Brooklyn, and she was working there as well in the office. And we met and were doing some ministry things together and hit it off.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Now, how old of these 7 children, youngest and oldest, what do we have here?
My youngest is 3.
Okay.
My oldest is 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Everything in between. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And now, where do you live in what city, what town do you live in?
I'm in Springfield.
Oh, you're in Springfield.
Yeah,
okay.
in Springfield.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. And so now let's get into how did you decide, because you are a non-traditional student, but how did you decide on PA? What path led you there?
Okay, there's a number of things. I had kind of always had it in the back of my mind that I always knew I'd do something to help people, something meaningful, something purposeful. And just over the years, I just kind of stuck it in the back of my head. I wanted to go into ministry because I wanted to minister to people. And things changed in my viewpoint about religion. And even though I was a Christian thought major, a lot of that stuff really I went away from.
Okay.
And in my departure from that, I got more into science.
Okay.
And I said, I really want to do something scientific but very practical, and so I really started considering it more. It didn't hit home for me until one of my children was born with an illness, with a neurological illness, and rest her soul, she did pass away at 2.5.
Wow.
So we have 8,
yes,
but 7 still with us.
Yes.
So that whole ordeal with Rachel really exposed us to all these different specialties in medicine, all these different people, nurses, physician assistants, doctors, and
specialists,
all kinds of specialists that we dealt with. And just the more I was exposed to that, the more I said, I'd really like to do this. I've thought about it in the past, but you know what? Clearly life is short, and I'm just going to go for it.
Well, I think plus you're just more aware of what's out there. I think one of the things that we've talked about on this show is there are so many medical subspecialties now and different career paths that you can take within that very broad field of medicine that, you know, I mean, when we were kids, it was like, well, a doctor or a nurse, you know, that was it. I mean, there were no technicians, and yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does.
Yeah.
So now you kind of decided, I'm going to hone in on this.
Right.
So did you start applying, or what
honestly,
was the process then?
At first, I because of knowledge of what's out there, I was like, I'm going to go be a doctor, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't until after a while I met more physician assistants and learned more about the career field and realized where I'm at in life, that really suited me more.
Yeah.
You know,
made more sense.
It made a lot more sense, and it's really what I wanted. I wasn't after the prestige of the title.
Yeah.
You know, I really just wanted to help people. So I said, you know, I don't need to be an MD or DO. You know, I can be a PA and do a lot of the same things.
Absolutely.
So I decided to do that, and so going to Elms College and getting those prerequisites. While I was doing that, I was a scribe at Berkshire Medical Center, and that's what exposed me to emergency medicine, urgent care. Okay. I never scribed in the primary care setting, but I kind of knew about primary care, just having a primary care provider, things like that.
Exactly.
But definitely learned a lot while being a scribe and just seeing how.
Now, what does a scribe do? Because I know I'm waiting for that phone to ring and somebody say, Tina, ask him, what does that mean? What does a scribe do?
So a scribe basically follows the healthcare provider, whether it's a physician assistant, nurse practitioner, whatever, and goes into each patient room and documents what's going on for the patient.
So it really is like a scribe. You're writing things down.
So you have our computer, and we go in, and let's say the doctor starts asking questions, and they start giving their history. Here's what's going on, doc. Here's how long it's been happening. Here's how I feel. And I just start typing. I get everything down, what they say. The doctor asks about, you know, the review systems and every body part, everything that could be going on. And then they do a physical exam, and I document that. And whatever goes into their medical decision making and their diagnosis and whatever orders they order for the patient, I get it all in. Into so that was your
position there. So you really were. All right. So this is a fantastic transition. We're going to take a little break here, but this is a great transition into what we're going to talk about today, which is the whole idea of emergency departments, which obviously you have some experience with, urgent care, which you have some experience with, primary care physician, what are the difference and so forth. So I have this song which I picked out just for you, LJ. So we're going to listen to Kool and the Gang singing Emergency.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
He rules the roost on Thursday from 6 till 10. It's Patrick Berry.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 7:38. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM, radio for the Westfield masses. My name is Tina Gorman. I'm your Wake Up Wednesday host. It is Wednesday, November 21st, the day before Thanksgiving. It's going to be a chilly Thanksgiving tomorrow, so make sure that you dress appropriately. We're talking like sub-zero degrees with wind chills.
Layer up,
repeat.
folks.
Yeah, layer up. Absolutely. It's going to be probably toasty inside wherever you are with lots of ovens going and turkeys roasting and so forth, but it's going to be chilly outside. So my guest this morning is L.J. Gibb, Lesmore Alexander Jr. I just think that is the coolest name. That is so great. He is a student with a non-traditional student at Westfield State University in the physician assistant program. So welcome again, LJ.
Thank you.
So now that we know your background, let's talk a little bit about the topic that you've chosen to talk about today, which is the emergency department, urgent care, your primary care physician. I hear this every day from certainly the older adults that utilize the senior center and my staff. When do I go where? Like what constitutes, when somebody has an issue, some type of a medical issue, and they're trying to decide, well, should I go visit, should I make an appointment with my primary care physician? Should I just go to urgent care because urgent sounds, like, okay. But then it's like, well, but is it so urgent? Should I be going to the emergency department? And of course, it's not only the person, it's all the people, because I see this all the time. It's all the people around them giving their 2 cents on this is what I think you should do. So can you kind of talk about what are the goals of these different places? I mean, places don't have goals, but the staff working at these different places, the emergency department, urgent care, primary care physician, what kind of help us sort this through?
We'll take it one by one. So we'll start with the emergency department. I worked in the emergency department as a scribe, like I said. So just going off of what I saw there. So the primary focus of the emergency department is to diagnose and treat conditions that are life-threatening.
Okay.
Or acute complications that need like advanced imaging, like high-level imaging. So these providers in the what we'll say ED, the emergency department.
Yep, emergency department.
They immediately consider worst case scenarios, right?
Okay.
And evaluate the patient using various methods to ensure that if something serious is occurring, that they'll find it and treat it appropriately, and they'll if they need to, they'll refer to a specialist if they have to treat that issue. So that's emergency department.
Emergency department.
All right. In an urgent care setting, I also worked in urgent care. You're right to say that, yeah, that sounds urgent. It is urgent. It's more time sensitive. So the focus there is non-life threatening, but time sensitive ailments. All right. The scope of that practice is limited to treating issues that are disturbing enough that they can't wait, but typically they're not going to kill a patient.
All right,
right?
I'm thinking, let's start tossing out a few examples here, LJ. So I'm thinking of something like, for urgent care, I'm thinking of something like, a really bad sore throat that you're afraid maybe it's strep. I don't think you really have to go to the ED. I wouldn't go to the emergency department for that. But, maybe your primary care can't see you for a week or two or whatever. And you're thinking, well, I don't, okay, would that, I mean, I'm just tossing out examples.
That would be appropriate. That's typically what you see, like strep throat. I had a sore throat. I'm coughing. I don't think I'm dying.
Right.
So,
or the other thing that I was thinking of was like athletic injuries. So somebody rolls their ankle. Well, if you don't, it's no. I don't think it's broken. I didn't fall or anything. But it's now it's all swollen. Again, now it's on a Saturday afternoon football game. My primary care isn't open on the weekend.
Right.
Again, I don't necessarily think I need to go to the emergency department, as opposed to somebody, I'm having chest pains. And, some of the symptoms of I'm sweating, I'm cold sweats, I've got pain radiating down my left arm.
Absolutely.
If you think you're having a heart attack or, those seem to be the symptoms, well, you're not going to go to urgent care for that. You're going to go right to the ED. So am I kind of on the right track here?
You're absolutely on the right track.
Okay.
So that's what you would say. So like you said, heart attack, you immediately think that heart attack is certainly life-threatening.
Yes.
So the symptoms that you would feel. So I won't say, if you're having a heart attack, go to the ED. Well, you often don't know that you're having a heart attack,
don't know.
But you know if you have chest pain.
Sure.
You know if you have tingling in your arm.
Right.
You know if you're sweating and you're getting short of breath and all these things are happening. So
right.
I'm here to say that if people know that they have these symptoms, this is where you go. So those things are happening. Definitely immediately call 911. Go to the emergency department. Do what you have to do to save your life potentially.
Sure.
But yeah, if someone rolls an ankle, that's more urgent care or primary care if they're open and they will take you soon enough. So the primary care provider.
I'm thinking too, primary care more of, I've kind of had this thing going on for a couple of weeks. I've had this tingling in my leg or my foot or whatever. It's not getting any better. It's not really getting worse, but it's not getting better. So I don't know. Those are the things I would think, probably time to call my PCP and say, hey, I haven't been in a while. This thing's bothering me. It's, it's not earth shattering.
Absolutely. And the primary care provider will deal with more like chronic type issues, but they can deal with acute issues as well.
Sure.
You can go to your primary care provider for a turned ankle.
Yep.
You can go for, a number of things that you would go to the urgent care for as well. About the primary care provider, so that provider cares for acute illnesses like minor ailments like a cold. They'll do that, but chronic conditions like lifelong complications that they'll be having, like hypertension, things like that, diabetes. They'll work with you for whatever those issues might be, but they'll promote overall health.
Yep.
Coordinate preventive health screenings, and also provide a full range of vaccinations. This provider will get you to build a relationship with them.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
This is more of a long-term relationship.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. I mean, I think the benefit to, whenever you can, the benefit, of course, to going to your primary care physician is that hopefully, presumably, it's someone who has created a relationship and a rapport with you over a period of time. And one of the benefits to that is that when you go, let's say you've got chronic high blood pressure or, you brought up diabetes. And these are all things that we talked to Dr. Lovelace about when he's on the show as well. He knows your PCP, he or she knows sort of your track record, your history, so that, if there's a flare up or a problem, it's going to be your PCP who's going to say, wait a minute, this is out of whack for where, or you've been stable on a medication and suddenly that medication is not holding. It's really going to be your PCP that's got the history and that's all in your chart. So certainly for that, that would be your always, I would think, your first course of action, if at all possible.
Right, absolutely.
Right?
If possible, you want to refer to your PCP. You want to let him or her know what's going on. And then from there, if you call them first, then they might say, this is an issue that needs to go to, you need to go to the emergency room right now. They'll tell you go there.
Yes.
Or, hey, we're booked up. I can't take you today. If it's something that's that urgent, you should go to the urgent care because we can't fit you in today.
Yes.
So they will give you rudder steer. They'll direct you.
Right.
And when you do that, they'll be in the loop on what's happening with you. If you just go straight to the emergency department, a lot of times
that's a really good point.
We'll forget to follow up.
Yeah, your PCP doesn't know that you went there. Yep. And you're right. I think that's a really good point, LJ. If because the PCP knows your history, if you're experiencing some, certain symptom, it might be that they're saying right over the phone, hey, don't even pass go right over to the ED. Right. Based on your history, that's where you need to go. Right. And as you said, now they're in the loop on that, so they kind of
and they know to follow up with you and all that. Yeah. And usually that happens. The providers in the ED or urgent care will say, oh, who's your primary care provider? And hopefully they'll get the information to them. But
doesn't always happen.
That doesn't always happen.
Not because the intentions aren't there, but sometimes things get a little wild and crazy and chaotic. And this person thinks that person already made the phone call and it didn't happen. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a short break. It is 7:47. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. We're going to talk, when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit about what can be done in these various settings. X-rays and maybe some of the diagnostic procedures. What do you need to go to the hospital for versus urgent care versus your PCP. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Our song, this one is ABBA. Thank you for the music, and this is in honor of Thanksgiving being tomorrow.
I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing it out loud. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What will I be without the song? That's what are we. So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Mother says I was a dancer before I could walk. She says I began to sing long before I could talk. And I've often wondered, how did it all start? Who found that nothing can capture a heart like a melody can? Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky. I'm the girl with golden hair. I wanna sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Placek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, Westfield. It is 7:52. You're listening to WSKB 89.5 FM radio for the Westfield masses. It is Wednesday, November 21st, the day before Thanksgiving. My name is Tina Gorman. I'm your Wake Up Wednesday host, and I'm in studio this morning with the chairman of the board, producer Pete Coles. Good morning again, Pete.
Good morning.
And our guest this morning is LJ Gibb. He's a student at Westfield State University in the Physician Assistant Program, a non-traditional student. Welcome back, LJ.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So we're talking about the differences among and between the emergency department, urgent care, your primary care physician. Talk to us a little bit, LJ, about what's available to the practitioners at these different sites. So I was talking off air, and I said, I had an injury at the senior center, I guess now about a year and a half ago. I'm a lot more careful. I had some tables fall on my foot. I ended up going to urgent care, and I thought they were going to send me to the ED because I figured, they're probably going to want to take an x-ray, and I don't think they can do that here. And guess what? They could do that there.
Sure.
So what are some of the things that they can do at these different places? What can they do and what can't they do?
All right, so you're right. In an urgent care setting, they'll typically have an x-ray machine. They can do that. But they may or may not have CAT scans.
Okay.
They almost certainly won't have an MRI machine there.
Okay.
So
that would have to be hospital based. You'd have to go to the hospital for that.
And
yes.
you will find that in the emergency department.
Okay.
So that, along with certain types of lab tests, you're gonna get simpler lab tests that you might be able to read quickly in urgent care, but more if you want to get more detailed lab testing. Maybe quicker reads, you'll probably find that in the emergency department.
But would that be something that the healthcare practitioner would, because of course as a layperson, I don't know what they're gonna gonna order. So if I go to one setting, and I have had the experience with some of my clients where we started at urgent care, and then based on what they thought their best guess for the diagnosis was, okay, we think we're going to have to send you to the ED for some of these things that you were talking about, either either a CAT scan or for lab work that had to be done. And what about in the primary care physician? Do they have access to X-rays and things? I've never had that experience.
They may have an X-ray there.
Okay.
Usually, like I said, the higher level imaging,
it's usually going to be.
Tend to not find it in the primary care setting either.
Okay.
And funny enough, when we're doing practical assessments in our class, and they tell us that our setting is the primary care, in our minds we usually think, okay, you're not going to get any any results back that you asked for, because your primary care, you're not getting anything. I want CTO, can't get that. Or
no, what's a CTO? So you can't.
So a CAT scan, of the head or whatever, so you may or may not get that in the primary care setting. You probably won't. You may get the X-ray though.
Most practices can't afford stuff like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of them can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how? And let's get back to the physician assistant or the PA. So what are their roles in these different settings? What would their role be? For instance, you've been in the emergency department. You've been in urgent care. What do the physician assistants do in those various settings? And of course, we know we've also seen them with primary care as well.
Sure, absolutely. So you've seen primary care physician assistants who basically do the same thing a physician would do.
Oh, most of the time now, I think a lot of my clients are coming back and saying, "Well, I never saw my doctor.
Absolutely,
I worked with I went in there. Here's my problem. I have an earache. They did this. They did that. So can the
PA took care of you?
Can the PA prescribe in a primary care physician, or
Yes.
is that underneath the doctor? They have to get the approval of the doctor.
So
how does that work?
Here's how it works. Yes, the PA can prescribe medications in the primary care setting, in urgent care, in the emergency department.
Okay.
Can prescribe. However, a physician assistant is always going to be falling under a supervising attending physician.
Okay.
Right. So whether or not that physician is actually physically located there during the time that the PA is working.
Okay.
Most PAs will work completely autonomously the whole shift that they're there,
Yes.
and never see an attending physician.
Okay.
But maybe at the end of the week or whatever,
Okay.
they'll review notes and kind of sign off on what the PA has done.
Okay.
So a PA practices basically under the license of a supervising physician.
But
physician.
it sounds like fairly independently under that license.
Yeah, a lot, particularly in these specialties, it's pretty independent, where you'll get more, I guess, more of an assistant type role is like the surgical specialty.
Yes, I was going to say if you're in the operating room, it's the surgeon that's doing it, and the
Absolutely,
PA is assisting,
right,
helping
and doing
out.
certain
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
It's just certain key roles, but not like the main go-to
Right.
in that surgery.
Right.
So that's kind of how that works. When I worked as a scribe at Berkshire Medical Center, and I would scribe for some PAs certain times, it really seemed that they did exactly what the physicians were doing, except for like higher level trauma cases.
Okay.
And they rarely did codes like someone
Yes,
came
like-
in
yeah.
and like cardiac arrest or things like that. Rarely. However, at other hospitals, it may be completely different. Maybe the PAs do a whole lot more than what they did at Berkshire Medical Center. So it can vary from one practice to another.
Well, I think it also depends on the setting. I mean, we're hearing more and more, especially in the rural areas, not just in Massachusetts, but in other rural areas, there's just such a shortage of physicians, that you've got nurse practitioners and physician assistants that are, kind of running the show, because without them, there's basically no health care. Right. So we just have a couple of minutes, LJ. Let's talk, I just kind of want to finish up with, what do you think? What are some of the reasons that people end up choosing the wrong setting to go to? Well, I just, because we've seen it, well, I think I may have, a bad cold or the flu, and I go to the emergency department. Right. What drives people to make those decisions, do you think?
Well, there's a few things. The first thing that comes to mind is a lot of people don't even have a primary care provider.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't have a PCP, so
okay,
I guess I'm going to the
So
ER.
I guess we're ruling that out. It's either going to be urgent care or the ER.
Right.
I don't
So,
have a
right off the bat, they're
Yes.
channeled into one of those two areas. So that's one reason. They may have a primary care provider, but it's so booked, and they don't even want to try sometimes to even try to get in with the primary care provider because of the steps that it takes to do that. So they just say, I'm just going to go to urgent care.
Yeah.
Because they know they don't have to deal with waits, and that's another big thing.
The wait time.
Right.
Yeah.
So you may have someone that is having chest pain and like, this, in their mind, they think this is urgent, and I really don't want to wait to be seen. But it may take longer because you go to the wrong place.
Yes.
And they say, hey, you're having...
we're afraid you're having a heart attack.
You have an MI, you're having a heart attack, and now we have to send you to the ED. So the time you took to go there just for them to send you over to the ED, you just wasted time now.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. And education is probably the biggest thing. Just understanding like what we're talking about. This is why we're having this discussion. Some people just don't know that. All right, well, if I'm having certain symptoms that could be life-threatening,
yes,
I definitely need to just bypass everything else and call 911 and go to the emergency department. However I need to do it, I need to just go right away. And if I'm a little sick, a little under the weather, I have a cold, and I don't really know where to go. I just know I need to be seen, and I don't want them to, I don't want to go to the wrong place and them to shoot me over to another place anyway. So I'm just going to go straight to the emergency department. So now you got people sitting in the emergency room with sniffles.
Yes.
And there's 100 people in the waiting room, and
you could probably get far sicker sitting in the waiting room.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So these problems that happen just because people don't really understand, like, no, you shouldn't go here just for sniffles, because it's really, you're going to be seen. They're going to take care of you. That's one thing. What's similar with all these, they're going to do their best to take care of you no matter what, even if you make the quote unquote wrong decision. They're going to deal with you, and they're going to help you as best they can. But just the strain on the system, like, I just remember being, rolling into the parking lot at Berkshire Medical Center, and there's just cars everywhere, and I go in there and I see this huge list of patients in the waiting room, and for really minor things that they could have went, and at the time urgent care was still open, so I'm just like, why are they all here?
What are you doing here? You could have been seen, half an hour ago, an hour ago, if you had gone to the right place.
And the way that works, they're going to triage. They're just going to get pushed back and back because
because they have to prioritize.
That heart attack is going to be triaged ahead of them,
or that car accident victim, or whatever. I mean, there are a lot of other things going on. Well, hopefully, we've spent a little bit of time this morning educating people so that they do have a better understanding of what's appropriate. LJ Gibb, I want to thank you so much for coming in, and best of luck in your studies. And I hope that all the students that are rotating onto the radio show will come back maybe in 6 months or so and kind of give us an update on where you are in your program, because as you said, once you start your clinicals and you're out there, I know you'll all be really busy, but it'll also be fascinating for us to sort of follow what's happening. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a very happy Thanksgiving and safe Thanksgiving, and just remember to, as Pete says, layer up. It's going to be really chilly out there tomorrow.
Especially going to a football game tomorrow morning.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Joe Didi is next, so stay tuned.
WSKB's programming is